And as I said, today we're going to talk about reclaiming your power and in a specific way. The first thing is that often there is a lot of confusion about what reclaiming power actually means. That is to say, we often get confused because a specific person hurts us. We feel that the power is in this person's hands and that the only way to feel empowered again would be for this person to finally give us the attention we want. Or at least acknowledge that they are having a hard time today, meaning that the validation from this person remains the source through which you would feel you are regaining your power. Other times, we want to find a new person, to put it bluntly, to replace that focus where we have placed our attention, believing that by gaining the attention of someone new, we would regain our power. And the reality is not that. The reality, in fact, is quite different. The reality is more about regaining power by precisely detaching from the idea that you need someone else to give it to you and starting to realize that you are the one who has to give it to yourself. And that sometimes when we are not well, the best thing is to take a break and understand that if there is one variable that undoubtedly influences not only when it comes to knowing, but also the outcome, that is, both in who I attract, or rather, the effort I make for someone to enter my life, and then the way I am going to manage it, this relationship with the person, undoubtedly influences a lot. If I am in a good moment in my life, if I feel in my power, if I am in my essence and I am well with myself, it is not like that. When I am not, there are many more options. To let anyone in, to get attached to anyone, to cling to anyone. As I say, I keep handing over the power from one hand to another, instead of placing it in the only place it should be, which is in myself. But if this is your case, don't worry, because today I am going to explain to you exactly, step by step, what you need to do to regain the power, put it in your hands, feel good about yourself, and thus be able to attract the person who is truly suitable for you, and manage relationships in a way that the outcome will also be much more optimal. And the first thing I need to do when I'm in a situation that doesn't suit me and where I've lost my power is to move towards acceptance. It is to assume. It is to embrace the change that is truly going to happen. And the thing is, many times we don't realize it, but we resist leaving a situation, among other things, because it's what we've become accustomed to, and because we are very afraid of the uncertainty of what is to come. We lean towards pessimism, believing that since I don't know what is going to come, and I have little confidence, given how badly things have turned out for me, just like before, it's like, well, I'm with this person and I don't feel like I'm in my power with this person, right? Because I'm always anxious, always overthinking. This person doesn't reciprocate, but every now and then they do something that makes me feel good. At least with this person in mind, I have the feeling that, well, I have someone to think about, someone to get excited about when something happens to me. Well, I have someone to fantasize about, right? I maintain an internal dialogue with this person, conversations, things, and there are moments, as I say, when I feel there are moments I can get excited about. So when I think about the future, even though I realize it doesn't seem like we're going to be together, sometimes I cling to the idea that we might, that there are possibilities, or at least there are windows of moments of pleasure, moments when I know I will share with the person. So I'm in a situation where I'm not in my power, where I'm not being reciprocated, where I'm not feeling good, but one that I've gotten used to, and therefore doesn't seem so challenging to me, so to speak. And when I imagine that it's done, that I'm going to take my power, that I'm going to detach, the only thing I feel is going to happen is that I'm going to feel very lonely because I'm going to have to completely kill hope. And in my mental scenario, I can't imagine better things coming. But of course, I can't imagine them coming because my imagination can't reach that far. Many times, being so optimistic, I get the idea that when I make space, when I start feeling good again, things will happen to me later on that I can't even imagine. That obviously I'm not going to be left behind, nor will I be eternally longing to have achieved something with this person. That until I make space, they don't come. The thing is, many times we want the opposite. It's like, well, I'm connected to this person. I don't feel in my power. I don't feel good. But until I meet someone who is worth it, I don't want to let go. Because no, I want to have at least someone, as I said before, to have, even if it's unilaterally, my moment to get excited, talk, fantasize. And I don't realize something very important. When you have someone in mind, you have your focus of attention there, you have your energy placed there. You are like a horse with blinders. That is, you don't allow yourself to often focus your attention on someone else. Someone can pass by your side. You can have an interaction with someone who is potentially pleasant, who is potentially attractive, but you don't see the person because your attention is focused on something else. Not to mention that life often brings us things when there is no room. We have to dare to make that space so that life can bring us things. So, it doesn't work to say, as I put it, I want the shortcut, I want the no-no. When I meet someone, then if that's the case, I'll detach. Be brave. If you know this isn't leading you anywhere, don't cling to the idea that it's better to stick with the devil you know than the angel you don't. I prefer this because at least I know that from time to time, I receive something rather than fear that I will never receive anything from anyone. And accept the reality. This is not how it should be. And embrace change. Seek it yourself. That is, go from refusing to let go of this to saying, indeed, I don't want this. I don't want this. I allow things to change. And that change involves detaching from the person. But I detach from the person knowing that I am allowing. That now new things can happen in my life. So, as you see, when I am seeking to regain my power, I don't distance myself in an attempt to make this influence you to give me. I don't distance myself to receive. No. I distance myself by taking back what I gave you. That is, I no longer expect anything from you. Because only in this way do you take the power out of that person's hands. And that doesn't mean that later on, once you regain your power, this person might also come looking for you. Because beyond presenting you with new scenarios in life, it often gives us different options to previous scenarios. But don't go looking for that truly. Get the idea and make it visual for yourself. Imagine it. That is within you. Let's put a fire, an essence. It's you. It's your energy. It's that energy that allows you to achieve, that allows you to reach goals, that allows you to live fully, that allows you to be well with yourself. Okay? So, as I say, when you meet someone and you show too much interest, too much attachment to that person, too much intensity in the outcome, you start to believe emotionally you give what you shouldn't give. And if you do give it, it should be to someone who, let's say, in return, gives you the same. Because it's a bit like, well, I'm not risking it so much because we're both taking the risk, right? Well, that power is held by that person. So it's not enough to, I want to get it back. So the moment I want to get it back, as I said, I no longer distance myself, hoping that you will react to give it to me again. No. It's okay. That's it. I've seen what you were willing to give. I don't like it. I prefer to put my flame back in myself. Whatever I need to give myself, I will give it to myself. I want to feel good again. So, it's you who is closing off, right? Who is allowing your power to be in someone else's hands. It's you who distances themselves without waiting because from here on, I don't even want to. Really, it's a strong cut, but it's not a cut intended to inflict harm on the other. It's not a cut encouraging the other person to, in my mind, when it comes to regaining power, I have a goal. And my goal is not to get something from you. Because as long as I'm trying to get something from you, I'm still leaving the power with you. In my mind, finally, I come to the conclusion of saying, no, I neither want to punish you nor want you to reconsider. The only thing I want today is to be okay with myself again. And to be okay with myself, I can't be. Leaving this, which is essential for my well-being, in someone else's hands. So as I said, regaining power is understanding that power cannot be in someone else's hands. It has to be placed within us. That our attention, our energy, and our dedication have to be here. You see? I put so much passion into it that even the helmet flies off as if saying, of course. And this would lead us to the following. We have to put passion into it. We have to be eager, because truly regaining power is about seeing yourself again. It's about getting excited about yourself again. We don't realize it, but there are stories that steal our excitement about ourselves, that make us invisible to ourselves, that lead us to a point where our mind is so hijacked by pondering the existence of this person, by what I would like to achieve with this person. What does it imply if this person is or isn't in my life? What would happen if that person... That all those questions directed at us are completely erased from the map. Truly. I have seen people who were in front of me and I say, I am not seeing an individual living their existence. I am seeing an individual who is merely an observer of another's existence. And it's like that. And this is very sad. This is very sad. You owe it to yourself to refocus on yourself. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your parents, to the mother who truly gave birth to you. You owe it to the people who love and care about you. But above all, you owe it to yourself. You cannot be in this life, which is a wonderful gift, an opportunity in itself, wasting day after day, being like a lost soul. Because you're not living, you're just brooding and watching someone else's life. And I don't judge you, because reaching that situation, unfortunately, is easier and more common. I mean, I see it constantly, than we would like or than it should be. But I become aware. That is, reclaim the power. As I said first, I accept the situation. I'm not well, and it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me, because I have the power in the hands of a person who is not making good use of it. But now I have to reclaim it. And once I reclaim it, I have to refocus on myself. And no more just focusing on someone else. What has become of me? How long has it been since I took care of myself as I should? How long has it been since the questions I ask myself, the ones I dedicate hours and hours of my mental space to, are not about me, but about someone else? You really need to change that. When you're there, RKR, ruminating, right? You realize, okay, stop abruptly. What am I ruminating about? Maybe you realize, hey, I've been ruminating for a while about the non-acceptance of not understanding why this person was very well with me, and then stopped being so. I'm ruminating about realizing on social media that this person has made such a move, started following someone or someone like them, wondering what they might have with this person. I've been ruminating for a while about feeling very sad because, when I think about myself, it's because I feel like maybe no one loves me, that things aren't going well for me, that why others do. But if you don't realize that the subject of the question is always someone else, well, change it. Change it. Start ruminating about yourself, but without including another person. We don't need you to include yourself plus that person there. No. Think only about yourself, from your immediate present to a slightly more long-term future in which you obviously have to find new hopes. Hopes of all kinds. You have to start seeing yourself again as a project that you abandoned, that you put aside, and that you cannot afford to abandon or put aside because it requires all your attention, all your time, all your affection, all your dedication. Regaining power ultimately means understanding that when you make it about you, others will do the same. That is to say, when you put effort into yourself, others will also put in the effort. When you have your plans, your dreams, others will want to participate in them. When you merely, in your mind, make it about the other person, for them it will also be about the other person. When you are only worrying about what that person wants and what concerns them, that person will also only be concerned with their own matters, their own will, what they want. When we give ourselves to someone and surrender our power, we are encouraging the other person to be selfish with our approval. So please, before living at the expense of believing that you need the other person to see in you what is necessary to regain your power, or find someone who can fulfill that role, understand that the only person who needs to look at you again for you to have the power is you. Your own validation is the only one necessary and the most important. Well, I hope this video truly helps you and that you liked it. If so, and you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, of course, I invite you to do so. Hit the bell because I would love for us to see each other again very soon. And until then, I send you a big kiss